Alright guys, today we're going to make a ribeye steak and some potatoes. Now I had a big bag of potatoes that I just bought less than a week ago, but they all looked kind of nasty, so I only found 2 little potatoes left that looked any good. You would probably make more. For these little red potatoes or the bigger normal russet potatoes, go ahead and rinse them off and then wrap them in aluminum foil here. And these little ones we're going to cook less. On the grill they'll take about a half hour. A bigger potato would take up to an hour, usually around 45 minutes. Now we got my nice big steak here, and this is a little big. I bought a larger one on purpose. What I'm going to do is cut off kind of some of this fatty area here, along with some meat. Because I'm going to cook this section up and give it to my dog, and then I'm going to eat this section. So I'm not going to season that. To season your steak, you don't need much. If you buy a good steak, all you really need is some salt and pepper. And I'm going to add on a little bit of pre-mixed steak seasoning. First thing I like to do though is add some Worcestershire sauce, just to coat it, and I feel it helps get the stuff we're putting on, the salt, pepper, and spices. I feel it gets them to stick a little better. So I'm just going to rub that around a little bit. Now we're going to throw on our salt, pepper, and like I said, a little bit of this seasoning. You can add any seasoning you want. Use salt and pepper, and then if you want to add anything else, you can add pretty much whatever you like on steaks. Salt and pepper you're pretty much going to add to every single one. Like I said, though, and then put whatever extra you like. You can also marinate this beforehand, like overnight even. Sometimes I do that, but if you get a good steak, just salt and pepper and some seasoning works out perfect. So now I've got my seasoned steak and potatoes. Let's go to the grill and see how we cook it up. Alright, so now we're out at the grill and I got both sides on high heat. I'm going to put them around medium high actually. Very close to high, but not quite at high. Now we're going to just throw our potatoes on. Throw as many as you want. Like I said, I only have a couple small ones, but you can make as many as you need. And then once this gets hot, I'm going to clean this stuff off. This is from when I cooked last. It's got to heat up more. So leave the potatoes on now. They're going to take about a half hour to cook, so in about 20 minutes we'll come back and start looking at the steak. Jack keeps barking at me, so I'm going to give him a piece before I cook it all. Stay. Stay! Look what I got! Stay in there. Stay. Stay. Okay. Alright, so it's been about 20 minutes, and like I said, if you were cooking big potatoes, you'd probably wait around 40 minutes. And flip your potatoes. If they're bigger potatoes, flip them a couple times. With the smaller ones, I just flip them once before I put on the steaks. So now we're ready to put on our steak. Close the lid, and we'll let that cook on one side for about 4 minutes. Depending how thick your steak is, it might be more or less, anywhere from 2 to 4 to 5 minutes per side. Pretty thick steak, so I'm going to cook it about 4 minutes per side. Alright, so it's been about 4 minutes, and I'm going to go ahead and flip them now. Should use tongs or something. I'm using my hands. Now we'll cook them for about 3 to 4 minutes more on this side. Alright, so after another 3 to 4 minutes of cooking, we're going to be done. I'm going to just take this one and put it up front. That one's for my dog, like I said. For the one for myself, I'm going to take and throw into an aluminum foil here. I'm going to wrap that up in aluminum foil, let it sit for 5 minutes. I just put it down, and then we'll come back and check the last step. Alright, so here we are at the last step, and like I said, you're going to want to wrap your steak in foil and let it sit for about 5 minutes. If you're cooking tons of steaks, like 10 steaks, if you have a lot of people over, you can kind of skip this step. Just put them all in like a Tupperware container or a ceramic bowl and let them sit in there for a few minutes. Helps them rest and finish cooking. So now that it's been 5 minutes, go ahead and take it out of here. And there we have steak and potatoes done perfectly on the grill and not too long at all. I'll go ahead and cut this open so we can see what it looks like inside. Oh, and as you can see, just perfect. Here, let me bring it up by the camera a little more. A little bit of pink inside, but it's not bleeding. It's just around medium. It's not rare. It's around medium. That's just perfect how I like it. If you want it a little more done, you know, just cook a little more. If you want it a little less done, just cook it a little bit less. There we had it, guys. Perfectly cooked steak at home on the grill. Turned out amazing.